and they dedicate their time and to prepare, really prepare for the occasion. So this one really took them months of hard work. So I think it has paid off. So did you enjoy that? Yes, very good. And we'll see them again one more time tonight. All right? Okay, friends. Many of the friends from overseas could not make it here tonight for this joyous occasion. All right? But even then, we still have a lot of friends writing in, and one of them, one of the heroes of the faith from Malacca, is Uncle Ku Yong Kiang. I'm sure many of you know him, right? Uncle Ku, do you remember him from Malacca? Well, he wrote us a 5-page letter from the US, but we are not going to read all the 5 pages. All right, so he has specially requested that his son read the letter that he has written in the email. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask Patrick to read on behalf of Uncle Ku, because his son Edmund Ku has prepared just a very short video clip about Uncle Ku and some of the Tangkap Baha'is, some of the activities that they carried out during the good old days. Alright? So Edmund, are you ready with the video clip? Alright, then I'm going to invite Mr. Patrick Tong to read out the letter while
Baha'is of Malacca community, for your 50th Baha'i anniversary celebration. I'm sorry that I couldn't join you all at this auspicious day, as now I'm staying with my daughter and her family in California after the fierce Hurricane Katrina hit Mississippi, where I had stayed for about 7 months. I was invited to tell you all some inspiring stories and history around Malacca since 1955, which is 50 years ago, when the first LSA of Malacca was formed. Yes, I was one of the early believers who were taught the faith by the late Uncle Leong Tachi. In 1960, he frequently traveled to Tangkap, Johor. During one of the firesides, I became a Baha'i. Since then, Uncle Leong had guided and taught me many things about this faith. We used to travel together to many places and towns. One particular place we had traveled is the Orang Asli area in Bangkok. The Orang Asli were very simple-minded and sincere people. It was a joy to hear them chanting the greetings Alaupa clearly and loudly whenever they met us. They hung the greatest name and photos of Abdul Baha high up in their small attached huts. Once the Ketua Kampung, Cik Pujang, told me, Bahai baik, aku orang Bahai sampai mati, which translates, Bahai is good, I will be a Bahai till I die. Please pray for this wonderful soul. Finally, in 1961, Tangkap Local Spiritual Assembly was formed. The success of Uncle Leong's teaching was consistency. Whether rain or shine, he always punctual. In his talks, Uncle Leong used simple language and symbolic examples. Enquirers always listened with interest and followed with questions. In 1964, I was posted to teach in a secondary school in Rengam, Johor until 1971. During this period, Tangkap Bahai's community was not active at all for many years. Later, Mr. Fung Kam Ming was transferred to Tangkap Hospital. After some time, many youths became Baha'is. Mr. Chua Tek Wee, an assistant to the ABM, then took up the task of deepening the newly declared youths. A couple of years later, Tangkap was on fire. The number of Baha'is attending the 19-day feast increased from 3 or 4 people to over 50 people. Sadly, as more active youths left to look for jobs, and no deepening and consolidation works were carried out regularly, the faith became very quiet again. In 1982, my family moved to Malacca. The Tangkat Bahai's community then consisted roughly about 15 active friends. Under Mr. Fong Cumming's leadership, the Tangkat Assembly was able to rent a two-joint low-cost house with special renter. Years later, the owner took back, and the assembly had to move to another rented shop house in spite of the financial difficulties. Some of our great Baha'is, like the late Mr. Thomas Sir, the late Madam Lim Kim Chai, Mrs. Fong, Mr. Priyasamy, Mr. Teh Ching Seong, and Mr. Ong Chi Boon, were the shining stars of the community. At present, our beloved friend Mr. Fong is not feeling well. It is hoped that some of us could go and assist them and bring back some of the glory of the faith to the town. Right now, these few Baha'is need help in running the Ruhi books, children class and teaching works. And yes, Tangkat will come back to life again one day in the near future. Another dear Baha'i, Dr. Gopinath, who came to Tangkat in the year 1978, if not mistaken, that night he gave an inspiring public talk to about 100 Chinese and Indian inquirers. Mr. Fong Cumming was his translator. Do you know what happened? At the end of the meeting, about 10 souls embraced the faith immediately, and 2 of them were my students, who later became great travel teachers in Johor. There were many other early Baha'is who in some way or other nurtured, assisted, and contributed their service to the Tangkat Bahai's community. The list of their names is too long for me to mention here. I'm sorry for that. It is true that we Baha'is are few in numbers, but if you reflect and ponder over the following lines for a while, you might think otherwise. I may be only one person, but I can be one person who makes the difference. I may be only one person, but I can be one person who makes the difference. Thank you. Aloha. Again. Don't pray. Lavinia.
Now, I won't come back again. My wife will certainly look for me, not for you. Keep quiet. Friends, now there is very pleasant information and news for you. Do you remember I was talking about one Mr. K. Andy? He accepted the faith in 1960. He was very active in the faith. Owing to circumstances beyond his control, he was not able to continue being active in the faith after the year 1969. And he is a brother of Dr. Singaravelu. Through him, all his family members, or many of them, became Baha'is. He shall always be part of the Malaysian Baha'i history. Now, can I call Mr. Palaniandi, who is back into our fold, back into our family? Come. Mr. Palaniandi, please. Come. Again, 10-year crusade Baha'i. Please, please. Can I call Dr. Vasu? He's your friend, not my friend. Come, please. Those who were associated with him in the beginning days may want to hug him. Friends, Bhaskaran, come. He was very much part of our family. Very strong, Baha'i doctor. Jamie, 10-year crusade Baha'is, please. Come, come. Andy, come. Anthony, come. Come.
A big four. Friends, before we have one more final performance from the Baha'i Youth of Malacca, I would like to invite Mr. Kumaradas to come up and say a few words about the early days. Please give him a big warm welcome, friends. You know, Mr. Kumaradas is an institution by himself. Still looking good and still going strong.
Okay. Yeah. Allow I was told, Uncle, just a few minutes. They put me as the last speaker, and then they say, just a few minutes. Because they need the time for that saying. And another cruel thing they did, they put all the speakers before me who have brought out all the points I've jotted down. And I lost a piece of paper. It's a piece of paper. Cash. Is there anything on the seat that cash? See, now Cash is trying to be funny with me. It's reminding me of a few points that I hey, there's some more. One page has got 2 or 3 sections. This is how old people do their job. Well, I hope I can. You are a dirty fellow. Who is this? Functioner. Terrible fellow. This is more trying to sabotage Malacca. You belong to Malaysia, Hongshun. Yeah, my great friend Hongshun. Yeah. Source of inspiration to me always. I would like to start off today. I don't have much to say. I told you all, I can drop the all the things that I want to say. When I spoke to Bhaskar on the phone, I said, Bhaskar goes into wine. Where the blue? Take out the blue. Okay, thank you. Can you hear me now?
No, you put it close into your mouth.
Oh, okay, okay.
No, not that one. Middle one, middle one.
Test one.
No.
Test 1, 2.
Yellow.
I think you can come the other if you want to. I would prefer you to stand by the side and give me a break.
This one.
I explain. You know, when I was, I had the privilege, I'm starting at this point, when I was in Bangkok, I had the privilege of meeting a number of friends. Mr. William Sears, 3 times, 3 different days, in 3 different hotels. They came on a big teaching campaign, chartered a plane, and they kept changing hotels. And every time I walked into the hall, this is the respect of the Baha'i show. Every time I walked into the hall,
You have to push the table.
the Oxford board member, what's his name, who follows William Sears,
Put up on the station. Put on the station.
wherever he goes, he would announce, Tony Lee, member of the National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'is of Malaysia, arrives. And there's a hand, and there all the big people, they would all stand. I think it was easily more than 100 people. And they would give the report for the day. They were very obedient. The hand was there. Report of the teaching activity the day before. And after that, they would go out to teach. So all these 3 days, I was on my way to Burma. They were so impressed. They thought it was so difficult to get to Burma. They were wondering how I, as an Indian, going into that sort of a place, not knowing their language, and so at that time I was pretty young. So I said, well, the National Assembly of Malaysia has ordered me to go there, and I go. And what they did, immediately they started collecting funds for me. One of the ladies came up and said, here you are. This money is for you to use in Burma. You're going to find it very difficult there. And I didn't accept the money. Well, before that, I was privileged to be in Singapore, where there was a big conference. And the Singapore Baha'is had arranged, broken the crowd into 2 sections. That function could not be held in Malaysia, but it was held in Singapore. And Hong Sun and Murray and all these people gave us the privilege. There were many, many tables. They gave us the privilege of being on the head table, main table, with a hand and his missus. My wife and I had the privilege of being there. So there are many things that happened. In Bangkok, another thing happened. I would like to tell you at some other time. I always get out of the point and go somewhere and go. Anyway, I'll come to Bangkok some other time. That's another place where I met another great hand. And that is Mr. Philip. One of the photographs I had, we were the only 2 people at the airport, Sheha and myself. And he was extremely tired. He got off the plane, the others had not come. Because it was raining very, very heavy. You know how it rains in Bangkok. They were delayed. On the way up to this place, I told Sheha, why don't we get some? They have this jasmine flowers. They make these garlands and little things around the hands. So I said, you pick up some of these. When I went to the airport, saw him coming out, he was so tired, we garlanded him. And he did this. I'm tired. I want to go. I want to go in person. Soon after that, the friends arrived. Van came and beloved hand was taken to a hotel room. Now that is out of the context. Anyway, I was from a staunch Hindu background. My mother, this is an incident of course. My mother always fasted and would make me fast. Even long before I became a Baha'i, I was one of those faithful followers of my mother. I built an altar for her and I had all the gods put up there for her. And I was a regular temple goer until Long Tachi came my way. Long Tachi was 2 houses away from my house in Bangladesh. Osan said his was 21, mine was 17. My father and Mr. Leong shared one newspaper. They're very miserly people. Yeah, I tell you. They were why don't somebody come and hold the mic for me? I'm 72 years old. Lady, why don't you come and Lily is one of my daughters. Yeah, really. I have a lot of children here who call me Papa and Pops and all that. They give me all sorts of names. And I'm very proud of that. We have brought up, my wife and I, 26 children altogether. They're all very well. My father and Leong Tachi were very practical people. There were 11 houses there, but these 2 people would go and dig up during the Japanese time all the land around that area and plant ubi kayu. They also planted clay and ubi kayu. How many minutes I have left? Clay and ubi kayu. All right, and they sold the ubi kayu and clay. They also gave it to others. Among those who were given the clay and the ubi kayu was among those were the priests in St. Peter's Church. They were ever grateful to Uncle Leong Tachi and to my father. And when they heard that Uncle Leong had become Baha'i, they were very happy about it, and they never said anything bad about Baha'i Faith. We always praised the Baha'i Faith and the Baha'i people. Now, Mr. Leong tried to bring the faith to my father. They were good friends. In Bangladesh, Mr. Leong was not interested in me. Little boy, so hello, Tambi. Hello, I was called Tambi. Tambi, yeah, everybody called me Tambi. But today, really, sometimes I think Tambi. That's what Hochu was fond of calling me Tambi. They come here, they soul be blessed. Then, my father was at the same time being approached by the neighbor. They were the Vandagans. Mr. Joseph Vandagan was working with my father, just like Mr. Leong Tachi. They were all with the municipality, Malacca municipality. Vandagan had a brother who became the first Asian bishop of Malaysia. He became very strong, very powerful. And my father was precious. Leong Tachi here, one here, another side, Joseph. And the first robe that was given to this bishop, the Catholic bishop of Malaysia, was given by my father, my late father. And he showed me that letter. It's a small little note where the bishop showed appreciation, thanked my father for this good gesture before. And I was very happy about it. And I said, okay, I'll let my father inform me as a Catholic. But what I didn't like, Leong Tachi chasing me. Every time coming by the front door, and as time went on, I really got fed up of this. I would really exit by the back door and tell the people at home, say I've gone out. Because he gave me a lot of homework. His kwetiau was attractive, his noon was attractive, his Scorpio was very attractive. But he would give me, we had no books those days, he would give me notes. And only today I learned, Osan, he said he had to print all the notes for the father. Nearly all the notes, if not all. Am I right, Osan, where are you? Right? So I received those things, and then he would come back and test me. And there was one book, Paola and New Era. He gave that book to me, and he would come and say, hey, chapter 6, wasn't it interesting? I would say, yeah, very interesting. And went on like that. And I was forced to read, and later, as time went on, I declared as a Baha'i. then we had a lot in common. I must mention about some people who might be left out of this scene. The early stages of the Bahá'í Faith. Auntie Leong was a great source of inspiration. She always gave me money. Lily might not know this. She would slip in some money into my pocket. Tambi, look for teaching. Ini, teaching, what teaching. When I went to KL, she was in Jalan Imbi. She would continue this practice. Lakshmi is somewhere here, I think. Lakshmi would be asked to go and buy for me $10 worth of karipa. And then a $50 note would go into my pocket. Tambi, mau pergi ya, buat teaching lah. Kamu nanti ambillah tapi. So it was like that. She is somebody very brave. She always had that black coffee in her house for everybody. And among those who she was very fond of, I'm very lucky I was one of them. Somo was there and a few others. Lot of Baha'i youth at that time. The neighbors were all Baha'is. Then there's another person, there's another couple here, because Mr. Leong Tachi mentioned, Mr. and Mrs. Rajasekharan. Where the Leong Tachis left the place, Mr. and Mrs. Rajasekharan, now in Papua New Guinea and Australia, they're here right now. Raja, yes. Don't be hiding like that. Come here. Kim, where's Kim? Might have gone for a good morning. And they have been going 3 times yesterday. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner. These two people were like, they had a lot of the qualities of Auntie Leong Tachi. They would keep the center spotlessly clean. My right, Kim? Yes. You are always welcome there. Everybody was. You were given everything. Coffee was there, biscuits. Sometimes there was something special for maybe Tomo, I don't know. For me there was something special, Tomo, I don't know, maybe Luis, and chocolates, all hidden, you know. The Dapo and Kimi. These two people took over and they did a fantastic job for 17 years. 17 years. Nobody here will know. Maybe Hosan will know a bit of it, but he had left the place some time ago. And then Bhaskar might know something. Bhaskar was a big man there building all the bridges. Actually, he built the bridges to connect the Baha'is. The government gave him a good job. Hosan was doing computers throughout Papua New Guinea. I came 3 times, 3 different locations in Hosan's house. He had a 4-story house. Fantastic place. And I tell you the work that he, Marian, what's his name? Marian and Hosan have always been hospitable to everybody who went there. I enjoyed my wife and I always enjoyed the meals there. They did really solid work there. Solid work. And you know the children, they all blessed. They all went to the Holy Land and now they are scattered. I don't know where they are now. Maybe Osan can tell you some other time. Like you say, Papua New Guinea, Kimbe, all the councillors know about this. The house knows about it. Raja and Kim transformed the place. Brought in hundreds and hundreds of Baha'is. There's another guy here. He was insignificant here. He is, Margaret and Bill. Margaret and Bill, of course. I didn't bring your name out because you're not from out of it. You're not from the actor community. These 2 people have done great job. The 5 of them. Gurjit, you know Gurjit? Madhu's brother. He donated a land worth 250,000 ringgit. He put up a beautiful complex in this part of Papua New Guinea. And he also Pavel is his wife, not Raja's wife. Gurjit's wife. Gurjit is now Hong Shun's very, very good friend. Where? Pavel there. Hey, come here, Pavel. Quick, quick, we have no time. They have given me half a minute left. Another Blacken, the conquerors. They went by ship to the islands. They organized big conferences. And 200 people went there inside the big boat. They got lost. They got lost in the sea. The waves nearly swallowed them more than once. And a helicopter had to be hired to go and look for them. That was the situation. Maybe someday you must hear Raja or Kim tell the story. Miracles, a lot of miracles happened there. Right now I heard a story, a very sad story. One of the Baha'is there, great Baha'i, the German, he lost his son, 21-year-old son. Shahin Rahim, my eldest son, was pioneering that. His boy was murdered. That's the sort of country they are in. Only Bahá'í Faith can transform the country. And the Malacca Baha'is are there, my two sons are there. A lot of Malacca Baha'is. And the others who went from war were all products of the Malacca Baha'is. So, Raja, you say something before I forget. Somo, yes, it's already been mentioned.
Hello, friends. And thank you for listening to us.
He's always shy, but yesterday he kept me awake till 3 a.m. So much to talk. This fellow all I tell you, the PNG gang, but we had a great time in Papua New Guinea. Daisy and I were given, what do you call it, customary welcome? Customary welcome twice. This welcome is only given to very big people, governors, councillors. This whole village came up. It's the first village in Papua New Guinea to be Baha'i. It's Medina. And the spiritual father of Medina is Rodney Hancock. The Hancocks are famous throughout the world. And then there's another John Mills. These two people did wonders in Papua New Guinea. From the Yaganigis. Somebody here has got someone married to the Yaganigis in India. Who is that? I know. Oh, Vasu, your son. It's a great, great, great family. Yeah. We are very well connected and associated. Right now, Shine is under the care of the Yaganigi in the new place. Shihab is also there. So, that's the story of these pioneers. Thank you very much for coming here. Now, some names have not been mentioned or have been left out or have not been given prominence. I think among the people who came here and performed great transformation were Orthodoxy, one of them. I'm not naming in order of sequence. Kishan Kabadi from Singapore. He was the right-hand man of the fourth class. And I used to go with Uncle Leong Tachi. I never liked him those days. He would come and say on a Friday, he would say, Ambi, tomorrow we go to Singapore. So easy for him, you know. Yeah. And we would go to Amber Road. They had a center in Amber Road. And then later the Fosters were living in an apartment in Bank of Indochina. Yeah, so easy as they're coming forward and go. I would go there, and then the Fosters, of course, they never allowed us into their house because they had a very small apartment with nothing inside. Really, Bank of Indochina, just behind that. Maybe the children will verify this with you. So, Kishan Kabadi was great. Another person who was great besides Kishan Kabadi, of course, Jean Frankel, all of us have been. She was given a lot of promise. She came and the spiritual father of Jean Frankel was Bill Smith. He spoke to about the faith. It was all a very strange, mystical declaration. She told me this and Bill told me this. Bill was, she told me this. How Bill was in the room and then he was, they came into connection. They were traveling the same way and then she declared, it's a long story, very nice story. She declared and after that she went out and really conquered the world. She and Mrs. Babe, her mother. Then those others who came here, is the first one is the spiritualization process. Later was Jack Davis. The first one was Janabi Caldwell. I tell you, those who have attended the Janabi Caldwell will know what it is to be a Baha'i. Sata is here. I think Sata attended Sata. Yes. Huh? Sata. A few others have attended. He was already attended. He's so great. He taught you the values of the Baha'i faith. To live as Baha'is in that camp. It's a small camp, but the discipline was very high. It's really tough. Then after that, I know some people never liked Jack Davis. But to me, he was a conqueror of heart. He made us cry. He made doctors cry. He told Somo something. Somo said he was praying for somebody who had caused harm to the faith. He said, what are you doing? And he dismissed the class for half a day. He was great. He did great. He became, when I was asked by the Spiritual Assembly of Baha'is of Bombay, Machu, I was on my way to your house. I was staying in the Diamond area, and then the assembly was meeting. I went into the center. They said, hey, come you from Malaysia, give a talk. I spoke for 1.5 hours about Jack Davis. And the talk ended with their giving me a cake, a big cake. I was a Chinese boy. Father became Baha'i, the family became Baha'i, and they all now full of I don't know what. Tan Bun Pin, I'm referring to one of my students, a great student, he's a contractor, and his family was a great family. Pastor will know that. Pastor and great big up for Tan Bun Pin. Am I right? Very honest, straightforward, and no $10 here and $20. Then when I went to Thailand, I also spoke to the assembly. Yes, Satya, you finding it difficult to believe? No. I influenced them. I spoke to them a lot about, there's some gossiping going on, but doesn't matter. Go ahead. I spoke to them quite a lot about Jack Davis. Later, Sammy Smith, Mother Sammy Smith, he was so fond of him, he went into Thailand and conducted a lot of courses, transformed many, many people. One of them who will always remember him is Sammy Smith. And she's the type of hard person, really strong character. She's in South Thailand. She's now married to Naga, our former council. So I'd like to end the whole thing. Time is catching us. Just with one story. There were a lot of escapades and episodes in the escape. We had to go to all the escapes, form LSAs. In April we were all busy. Cars were moving. Initially we had only 2 cars in Malacca. One was a Vauxhall, belonged to the Paul brothers. Among the great Baha'is in Malaysia are the Paul brothers. They gave the faith to the early Baha'is. They were there with Mami Foster. They organized the meeting with Uncle Yankee Leong. I think I was going to say verify this with Uncle Yankee Leong. Yeah, this happened. Now they are scattered. Tusha is in Australia. Marina is in England. I heard he's doing very badly. Why, I don't know. Pijus was an asthmatic fellow, but he attended all the meetings. He was on the LSA for a while. Even people like later years, when the faith was still new, people like Joe Ganapati all got into the LSA easily. Now you can't get into the LSA, it's so difficult. You know what I'm saying? Hit. Yeah, you don't understand what I'm saying. Yeah, this guy used to come and look for me all the time. Come back from Taiwan, you ask him, bro, kid, always look for me. And we nearly went into watermelon business. Yeah. So, all these people have contributed to the faith so greatly. And maybe if I sat down, the Paul brothers, they did so much. I was so impressed by these fellows. And I was not on the first assembly. I was on the second assembly as far as I can remember. Maybe my memory fails me. I'm 72 now. Second assembly, I think. And after that, after a few years, I was secretary for many, many years, or vice president, because vice chairman was Tori Fernandez. I got two senior sergeants, then so I was vice chairman, and went on until there was some problems. Then it was like that, but the assembly grew, and we had to go to all the estates and farm assembly. Two little stories left, to permit me. Short. One estate we went to, one of the guys who came with me at that time is Ramasamy, who is in the idea. ID in Malacca, he was. Ramasamy? Yes. He was a young fellow. So I went with him on the motorbike to this estate. Earlier I had gone with Somo and Jerry and all these people. My right-hand man was always Manmohan Singh. Muni Manmohan Singh. Everywhere he went, really. And there's one place where we must have said thousands of prayers. It is a hill just outside Malacca. As you go towards Hendriyani School, you must negotiate this hill. You didn't roadworks in Malacca. We would stop the car and then proceed. And then Selkam opened up. Malima opened up. Devon South, Devon North, Devon 16. Yeah. All those estates along the line up to Jashi. Then of course we went to. I sent one pioneer. We sent one pioneer to Bombay last story. I'm leaving a very important story, many, many stories. This pioneer is down in Bangkok. He's married to the secretary of the Panasonic company. I'm referring to Jayabalan Krishnan, an Alugaja boy who used to play football and then going study in school, ordinary fellow, mother, detective. Now they're all dead and gone. Only Jaya and the brothers are living, and parents are gone. Jaya went there and pioneered in Thailand. Presently, he is the secretary of the National Spiritual Assembly, but all the way he's been an active part. He's a black brother. He's a black brother, Jaya Balan. One of the early assignments, we got him a bicycle. And we said, you go and do teaching in the Jasin area. He found a house. And the house, the home was the home of a drunkard in Bombay. He stayed there. The assembly was formed. He conducted